What would you do to survive unbearable loneliness? This is the story of a 120-year journey to a new world, a single catastrophic malfunction, and a man who was faced with an impossible, selfish, and deeply human choice. Our story begins aboard the starship Avalon, a massive, automated vessel transporting over 5,000 colonists in hibernation pods to the planet Homestead 2. 30 years into its 120-year journey, the ship flies through a meteor field. A major impact causes a critical malfunction, and one pod opens 90 years too early. A mechanical engineer named Jim Preston awakens, completely alone.
So why am I alone?
We're all in this together.
At first, he enjoys the ship's luxuries, but a year of absolute solitude drives him to the brink of despair. He is a ghost on a ship of sleeping souls. He becomes fixated on one of the sleeping passengers, a beautiful writer from New York named Aurora Lane. He reads her work, watches her videos, and falls in love with her. Haunted by loneliness, Jim makes a terrible, unforgivable decision. He manually opens her hibernation pod, effectively murdering the life she was supposed to have and dooming her to die with him on the Avalon. When Aurora awakens, Jim lies, telling her that her pod malfunctioned just like his. For the next year, the two fall deeply and genuinely in love, finding happiness in their shared, isolated world. But their perfect life is shattered when the android bartender, Arthur, inadvertently reveals the truth. Aurora is horrified and disgusted. She violently rejects Jim, consumed by rage and grief for the life he stole from her. They are now two lonely enemies, trapped on the same ship for the rest of their lives. Just as their personal Cold War seems permanent, a greater crisis emerges. A cascade of critical malfunctions begins to plague the ship. They realize that the same meteor impact that woke Jim is now causing the entire ship to fail. The lives of all 5,000 sleeping passengers are at risk. Forced to work together, they diagnose the problem. The main reactor is overheating and must be vented manually from outside the ship. In a final, heroic act of redemption, Jim sacrifices himself, going outside into the vacuum to hold the vent open, saving the ship but suffering critical injuries. Aurora, realizing she still loves him, races to save his life, pulling his dying body back from the brink in the ship's autodock. She now has a choice. She can use the now repaired autodock to go back into hibernation to get her old life back. But she doesn't. She chooses to stay with Jim. The film ends 88 years later, as the ship's crew finally awakens to find the Avalon's Grand Concourse has been transformed into a beautiful, lush paradise, filled with trees, plants, and a small house. A testament to the beautiful life that Jim and Aurora chose to build together, alone among the stars. And that's the entire story, a beautiful and controversial science fiction romance. What would you have done in Jim's position? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this summary and want to support the creation of more content, please consider using the donation link in the description below. Thank you for watching TLDR Movies and Books.